On April 15th in 1947, Jackie Robinson became the first black player to ever play in Major League Baseball in the modern era. He suited up for the Brooklyn Dodgers as a first baseman, and with that, he made history. And in recent years, Nike has been celebrating Jackie Robinson Day on April 15th. Recently, they released the Nike Dunks, last year the Air Force Ones, and this year, they're continuing the tradition on my favorite Air Max of all time, the Air Max 1. Air Max 1 86, Jackie Robinson. The shoe dropped on April 15th for $150. Obviously, April 15th is Jackie Robinson Day. Now, if you didn't know, in 1986, Nike came out with the first version of the MX1s that had the bigger bubble, the bigger Nike bubble. Really quickly, they found out, especially in cold weather, that this type of tooling was prone to cracking. So they had to pull production, redo the shoe, and that became the MX1s that we're familiar with now. But eventually, Nike figured out how to make the MX1s in its original style, with the big bubbles, and recently they've been coming out with a bunch of MX1 86 big bubbles and first impressions of the shoe. I remember seeing images of the shoe. I was like, that colorway is absolutely gorgeous. The execution, the color blocking, it is so nice. I'm in love with the colorway of the shoe with the dark brown kind of gum bottom over here. Personally, like in a vacuum, I don't love gold on shoes, but like dashes of gold with the right color combination, it can just really make a shoe pop. With the white laces, everything in terms of the colorway at least about the shoe is great. And Air Max 1s are my favorite Air Maxes, so that's always a bonus. But with all that said, it is not perfect. And that leads me to the upper materials of the shoe. This is disappointing. For someone you're trying to celebrate for Jackie Robinson Day, a special type of release like this, and you come with the same type of synthetic crap suede that you put on other big bubble Air Max 1s or Air Max 1s in general, ones that aren't premium, it just does not feel good. So it's suede on the mudguard, the mid panel, the heel counter. Yeah, that does not feel good at all. I'm disappointed. I would have thought for a special release like this, maybe they would have upped the quality of the suede on the shoe, but nope. Same old synthetic suede. Now on the toe box area where you see the ventilation all around, usually you might expect like mesh on more general release MX1s. This one comes with like a nubuck finish and it's ventilated all around, and this finish doesn't feel as bad as the suede on the rest of the shoe, but I can't say that it's premium. Again, very disappointed with the materials that come on this special release in particular. And then moving up the tongue, you have these lace aglets. This one in this golden 42 with a swoosh. 42 obviously being his number. And again, just like the materials, this just feels cheap. You can feel how light it is. Like it's gonna break soon. At least they could have come with like slightly heavier or more quality materials. Doesn't have to be like metal, but this just feels like one of those cheap plastic pieces in like Monopoly or something. Just because it's gold and it looks shiny doesn't mean we're that easily fooled. And then moving up the tongue, you see a mesh tongue on the 42 diamond branding on top. On the top eyelets, you see this gold aesthetic. Again, it feels very cheap, very plastic. Don't love that at all. And then on the swoosh in the mid panel, you'll see like a textured and embroidered pattern over the top. And then moving on to the booty of the shoe, golden Nike Air branding, just like other Air Max 1s. And this shoe comes with one extra set of laces, so out of the box, it is white, and I think that looks really nice. The extra set of laces, it is in the same type of Dodger blue. Out of the two, I think the white laces makes the shoe pop a little bit more, so I prefer those, but both sets I think look very nice on this very beautiful and clean colorway. And another part where you'll see hints of gold is on the lace tips. Again, just like the other gold on the shoe, feels very cheap. And the MX 186 does come with a polyurethane midsole with, of course, a Nike visible air unit on the heel. A big one, of course. And this shoe, compared to like a general 1987 and onwards MX 1 release, the pattern on the midsole area is slightly different. And the color of the midsole, it is actually officially sail on the box, but it's got more of this kind of off-white look to it. Doesn't have that sail that's almost like pea stains, so it's not too bad there. But it still comes with a waffle outsole, a waffle rubber outsole. I love this shade of blue, and I really like gum bottoms, especially as I get older. And just the combination, that looks great. And the insole of the shoe, it is branded. So on the bottom, it says specially designed for Jackie Robinson Day, April 15, 2024. by Nike Sportswear, Beaverton, Oregon, USA. And this insole, this material, you just might as well not go for anything. This feels so cheap, feels so crap. Just for such a special release, why cheap out like this? I don't get it. In the box of the shoe, a standard 86 Big Bubble box. I kind of wish they came with a pretty special or more unique box for this special release, but yeah, just a standard Big Bubble box. Now in terms of sizing and comfort, I have wide and flat feet. For MX1s, I tend to go up half a size. I've gone true to size before. I feel like throughout pretty much the entirety of my foot width-wise, it's just slightly too tight. It's not as comfortable. I loosen up the laces, try to break it in, but I just don't like how snug it can feel. When I go up half a size, I feel like there's not a ton of more like space and room in the toe box, and it fits just slightly more comfortable. So for you wide footers, I'd recommend maybe considering going up half a size. For people that don't have wide feet, I recommend just sticking true to size. Now in terms of comfort, I think the Big Bubbles are a very comfortable shoe, especially for just casual use. Over time, I've come to really appreciate how comfortable Air Max 1s are, especially considering how old the shoe is. It's pretty well cushioned, even though polyurethane midsoles are very ancient. Sometimes Big Bubbles come with like pretty soft polyurethane. This one is a bit sturdier, but firmer, which I don't actually mind too much. I don't love shoes that are very, very soft, so I kind of prefer the more sturdier type of feel. All in all, this is a comfortable shoe. And that brings the total sole score of the Air Max 186 Jackie Robinson to 37 out of 50. A pretty good score compared to other special releases. Now first it is colorway. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is pretty much perfect. I love the blue. I love this off-white creamy type of color. The gum bottoms are just extra nice. There's limited use of gold. I think it's perfectly done. Not too much where it gets kind of corny. I think this is a great colorway. Just really well done. I love the color blocking. What they did with this, it is super nice. Super, super nice. But then we get to materials, and that's where it really disappointed me. I really did not want a super synthetic suede that you get on other general release Big Bubbles, but of course they came with that. The gold parts like this just feel super cheap, super light plastic, and I know that's nothing new for like Nike or Jordan Brand, but I just think with a special release, maybe just give us something slightly better. And in terms of the comfort of the Air Max 1 Big Bubbles, very comfortable shoe. I think it's right up there with the pretty comfortable Jordans. I think it really does still hold up. It's got a bit of weight to it. It's not like the lightest shoe, but all things considered, very comfortable. In terms of the versatility of the shoe, I think the MX1s are a very wearable silhouette, very timeless. Obviously it came out originally as a running shoe, so it's still got that kind of sleek look to it. But I think for casual use, probably not for formal use, I wouldn't wear an MX1, but for casual use, it fits most occasions. The wearability of the colorway, I think it's super wearable. This navy is super versatile. Honestly, every wedding I go to, every dude is like wearing a navy suit. And even though it's got gold, which is kind of louder than what a lot of people like, it's in such limited amounts, it doesn't really stand out too much. It's not super loud. So I just think this is a super versatile shoe. And in terms of the storytelling, I think it's got decent storytelling with the branding, but the box, it is still true to the 86 Big Bubble box. Nothing special about that. Kind of maybe wished it was like a different type of box, but with a special release, I wanted something extra. That's just me. So yeah, I think good storytelling, but not the best. I wasn't able to get the past few Nike Jackie Robinson sneakers, like the Nike Dunks, as well as the Air Force Ones. Really wanted those Air Force Ones, but I missed out. I was lucky enough to be able to grab these, and this, out of the three, this might be my favorite one so far. I love the MX1s. It's my favorite MX, probably the only MX I will ever review on this channel. It's kind of the only MX I go after. But the main thing is the execution of the colorway of this deep blue with the gold. Can't say enough good things about it. I really can't. It's got disappointing parts to it like the materials, but I'm still super satisfied that I got the shoe in hand. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Max 186 Jackie Robinson. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.